Okay, welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to discuss blending in with the marketplace. The success of a chameleon depends on its ability to blend in with its environment to escape detection. This strategy is similar in that you want to blend in with the marketplace, not to avoid detection, but to enhance the probability that your offering will be accepted as a natural part of that environment. What you really want to do is always take account the needs of the marketplace before you spend too much effort and time trying to sell a product that has no market. Once you understand what the market prefers, you should try to generate an offer that harmonizes with the need instead of ignoring it or going off on some new tangent altogether. So, for instance, while many life coaches will tell you to follow your dreams are limited by the environment in which you find yourself. You can't sell as many copies of a book on crocheting as you can on finances. That's because the market is hungry for good finance information. And only a few people crochet these days, so make your choice. So, the environment is rich for growing finance book sales, but it's poor for growing crochet books. Even if you are an expert in crochet stitches, what good does it do to spend your time creating a book few other people will pay to read? Instead, focus on what the market wants, and after you've sold enough to raise the capital for the crochet book, then write the book if it still interests you. So, what's the strategic plan here? This strategy is pretty much like how you pick a career in life. In that case, the career would be your product, and the environment is the job marketplace. Maybe you want to grow up to be a mime, but no one's hiring mimes. So instead, you focus on a career that can pay you so that you can be a mime on your off time. Maybe become a computer technician who does shows on weekends at the local mall. When you make enough money as a computer technician, then you can decide whether, to take the mime gig full time and make a go of it. There's a little twist here though. You aren't just going to pick any career to make money. You're going to pick one that is similar to your actual goal. So if you're real ambitious and that's being a mime, you can get a degree of in technical theater, for instance. That way, you get to work in the environment conducive to acting, and you get to be around people who love to act. Then you can start to see if there's a way to make money being a mime too. That's a smart way to follow your dreams and make enough money to live on it. In marketing terms, you may want to sell indoor tabletop atriums, but your research shows there's no market for them. Don't create a website devoted solely to them then. You instead look for a market that is similar and use that to launch your site. For instance, you may find that people are learning how to grow vegetables and flower gardens in tight economic times. Then you would devote your site to gardening and have the atriums as one potential product that can be bought off the site. Always seek to harmonize with the marketplace. If you're trying to sell women's wigs, don't try to sell them in an environment that won't appreciate them. Like in beauty shops, people are paid to cut your hair. Instead, you would seek out cancer groups to advertise and places where people appreciate a fine woman's wig. This is blending into your environment and is important even when you are just commenting on someone else's blog and linking back to your site from there. So, what are the psychological triggers here? Have you ever seen anyone walk in with a tie that clashes with the rest of their suit? How about when someone says something totally inappropriate for a conversation? Does that just jar people into silence and staring? It's an immediate turnoff, and people will often mock things that are out of place. This is how people will perceive a product that is not timed to harmonize within the marketplace. Even in the West, where the culture of individuality reigns, you will see a look of disgust come across people's faces when something is distinctly out of place or interrupts the flow of an event. That's because our culture works on, unwritten rules of social cooperation that are meant to help people work together in harmony, even when everyone is their own individual. There are still social rules in place that people follow to make everyone comfortable and to ease the social underpinning of civil society. When people fall outside those rules, it triggers a social consciousness that degrades the value of that interaction. You're speaking out of turn. You are not following the rules. You're creating disorder in their lives, and they won't appreciate it. More than likely, they will either openly mock someone for stepping out of line, or they will ignore it completely. Either way, a product that isn't in harmony with the environment is going to receive a very poor public reception. Unless that public has been primed for the introduction of a product that steps outside the box or out of the norms. If, however, you have a product that falls into the market at just the right time, the public is ready to accept it, and the probability that you will close more sales is much higher. So you want to check with the social environment and what that social environment is like before you devote much of your, resources to a product or market that just doesn't have enough juice to justify the effort. It'll make your life easier in the long run to go with the flow than it will be to try to fight it. Then, once you make a bit of money on the markets that are already selling and you still have the desire to try something different, go for it. You will have learned much more about what your market wants, how to play on those desires, and how to make money selling similar products. So, how do you implement this strategy effectively? To implement this strategy, you have to do your homework. Research the marketplace in depth before you commit money, time, and resources, to a sales venture that is doomed to fail because you didn't do this one thing. Harmonize with the marketing environment. With new products, this is even more important because it will have to still meet the needs of the market to sell, and you may have fewer ways to determine how it will be received without proper researching those consumer trends. One way to test the environment for a new product is to do a trial offer and see how many people bite. This can be, in the form of a pop-up window or limited time offer. I like to do product launches. The number of sales on that product will give you an idea of how many people would actually buy the product if you did a full sales page and promoted for it. If it has trouble selling, you can lower the price and try the ad again to see if the price range was off. If it still has trouble selling or even generating interest, odds are the market is not ready for this product or simply can't appreciate it because it's just too different. Another way you can get products harmonized with the environment is to offer accessories with it, that the market loves. Take, for instance, cell phones. When cell phones were really new, all they did at first was call people's numbers. Now they offer cameras, voicemail, special ringtones, web access, games, all kinds of stuff. All those people who never had a need to call people from outside their home suddenly found the features appealing to the electronic gizmo culture of our times. Now, everyone carries a cell phone, and the more features your phone has, the more status it carries. Maybe you're selling cosmetics, and so you pair it with, some pretty purses or handbags. Now you've got two markets: people who wear makeup and people who love to get new purses every season. You've accessorized your offering so that it fits into multiple environments. You can even just change the marketing perception of an old product to make it fit into a new culture. That's a way of upgrading the image of something that people consider an old fashioned or traditional and making it appeal to modern taste. This is one way to get old products to blend into new environments by offering them, a new slant. The diamond ring is an excellent example of this strategy to harmonize with the new environment where people didn't want just a solitaire diamond like everyone else had. They wanted something different. So the diamond industry took their diamond rings and created new concepts so that the diamond rings would still be marketable in a changing environment. They started creating right-handed rings for women who were just happy being single, but wanted to show off their wealth. They created bands with multiple diamonds and called them eternity rings to celebrate anniversaries. They generally upgraded the old-fashioned concepts of a single stone ring to one that was more luxurious and could express a greater degree of individuality for people in our times, whether married or not. And diamond sales went up dramatically because they now had a wider market since they had learned to blend in seamlessly to the new culture of individuality, affluence, and even single people. You can take the example of the diamond industry and apply it to your own products. What can you do to make your products blend in more with today's fashions, tastes, and culture biases? Maybe it just means offering products in a variety of colors. Maybe you want to add some accessories like a pouch for a cell phone if you're selling purses. Maybe you want to remove some items from your inventory or their accessories that stamp your product as being out of step with the times. You don't want to be the person selling typewriters when the entire market was going to computers. It just doesn't make good business sense. Instead, read the signs of the times and unload your inventory and get into something the marketplace wants and appreciates. So let's talk about timing this strategy. The timing for this strategy refers more to a cultural sense of time. You want to take note of what's going on in the society and try to keep ahead of trends happening in your market's niche. You want to use that knowledge to predict what might be a good seller and what isn't worth your time. So much of this strategy is done before you build an offer or a product in your inventory. Once it's up there, the only choice you have is to either upload it or accessorize it to get it to match. You can keep the news of what's happening in the niches you are interested in by subscribing to trade blogs or journals. You should read the latest of what's happening in your world and always attempt to do trial runs for products which may seem like a good idea. But let's just say you can't locate relevant research to back up that sentiment. So test it out. Then the marketplace can tell you whether it's a potential winner or a dud without spending too much time and effort getting an entire campaign up and running. Ensuring that you blend in with the marketplace and test and tweak when it comes to finding products in the marketplace that will work. Just as an example, one of my main beliefs and that I have done in the past when launching courseware is simply create the outline, sell the outline, do a pre-launch. If it takes a hold, then release that courseware. If it doesn't, refund everybody and scrap it. And then if it takes a hold, then create the product and then launch it mass. So you can really thwart off a lot of mistakes if you don't try to release products, hard release products, without testing them in the market first to ensure that the marketplace actually wants it. All right, that concludes this lesson. We'll see you on the next video.